favorite places in the whole world is Niagara Falls, specifically the Canadian side. It holds a special sentimental place in my heart because that's where I proposed to Kristen. And she said yes, which is an important detail to me in liking the place. It is also where we honeymooned. We like to go there as often as we can, but at least every couple years. The grandeur and the beauty of the falls are stunning. It's easy to understand Paul's words at the beginning of Romans when he tells us that through everything God made, we can clearly see his invisible qualities, his eternal power, his divine nature. It's also easy to feel small in comparison to such a magnificent spectacle in nature. That's why I also have an understanding of David's amazement in Psalm 8, when after looking at the expanse across the night sky, he says, "What are mere mortals that you should think about them? Human beings that you should care about them." But there's another passage of Scripture that I'm reminded of when I stand at the railing watching the never-ending torrent of water. Solomon talks in Ecclesiastes 1 about the monotony of life, and he compares it to water. He says that rivers run into the sea, but the sea is never full. Then the water returns again to the rivers, and it flows out again to the sea. So the water that flows over the falls doesn't ever end. It just keeps on going and going. It runs continuously on and on. I was reminded of this yesterday during my devotional readings when I came across these words: "A river cuts through rock not because of its power, but because of its persistence." You see, the rock that the water in the Niagara River flows over is being gradually eroded. Information posted at the falls says that the fall line is receding approximately 1 foot per year. That's an amazing statistic. Simply because of the persistency of the water, it's wearing it back over time. If you'll indulge me for just a little more, this next verse is actually the scripture that I was working toward. In Luke chapter 18, Jesus tells a parable about an unjust judge and a persistent widow. In verse 1, Dr. Luke tells us why Jesus told the story. He writes, "Then Jesus told his disciples a parable to show them that they should always pray and not give up." I wonder what I could accomplish if I had that kind of persistency, just to go on and on, to continue and to continue in my prayer life. That's what we're called to. Maybe when it comes to prayer, power is found in persistency. How about you? What is it that you would like God to do? How long are you willing to go to him in prayer and ask for the same thing again and again and again? God answers prayer in one of three ways. He either says yes, no, or not now. Don't turn a not now into a no simply by giving up. If God clearly says no, you need to stop asking. But until he says no, persist in your prayer.